What's going on, guys? Let's get into our quick picks for the day. I owe you all an apology, first of all. Shat the bed yesterday. Horrible picks. Definitely not ideal. Yeah, the world just was not there for us yesterday. It was a bad day. It was a bad day. So what happened? Well, we took the Michael Porter Jr. over. I think he finished with 9 points. 7 points, maybe. It was brutal. Poor shooting. Did not take enough shots. It was just a bad night. Bad night for MPJ. I should have known better with all the trades happening recently, certain teams' rotations being funky, him having a poor game, just a poor read on my part. But I like the logic with the pick as far as him having a bounce back game, because he typically does. Typically has a great bounce back game. So poor pick there. What else we have? The Jalen Duren over points and rebounds. I think it was what, 20 something, 24 and a half. He finished with 7 total, 4 points, 3 boards. Woo! So that was a horrible call on my part. I really thought Jalen Duren was going to step up. He's had 2 great games back to back. Cade was questionable. I didn't think Cade was going to play, but Cade playing definitely kind of screwed us there. But hey, life goes on. We missed that one. And then the last one that we picked pretty poorly was the Scotty Barnes pick. I was literally like, man, Brandon Ingram had a great game that before. Brandon Ingram had some good conversion on Brandon Ingram recently. And I just felt like it was going to be flipped roles based on the matchup, based on paint defense, etc. But hey, life goes on. Can't always pick them right. So we got 3 good picks for you today. Did some extra research, have some good feels as well. You got this. Let's come back. So what do we have on the docket today? First pick that I'm liking. Pelicans-Wolves game. A couple things about this game. First thing I'm taking. Trey Murphy's over. Been balling recently. You know he's going to get his shots up. Like I've said, after those 4 games of poor shooting, I'm talking sub 40% shooting in a row with over 20 shots a game, then absolutely I expected 2 bounce backs. Was I expecting 44 the other night? No, but 12 of 19, beautiful. But here's why we're picking Trey Murphy. So anytime he has 3 games like this, there's a trend. 27, we had 27. Next night, 42. Last game we had 44. What am I expecting for this game? I'm still expecting him to cover the line. A little less efficient shooting though. So if you look here, the shots kind of come down. They go from 19 to 26 to 24. Okay, here, 20 to 28. I think they're going to drop down, but I still think he's going to get about 20 shots up tonight. I personally like the chance of any great shooter or good scorer shooting 20 shots a night. I like my chances there. So as long as Trey Murphy can get the shots up, yes, Zion's playing tonight, but Zion's just so hit or miss on whether he's going to actually score and take shots. I swear he'll cover that line in the first half with 18 and then just fade away. But I like the Trey Murphy pick in this game. On top of that, Pels just traded Alvarado. Doesn't change too much in their lineup. I mean, their big scorer is Trey Murphy anyways. He's their perimeter guy. I do like Derek Queen, not necessarily because of the matchup against the size of... Actually, I take that back. Against Gobert, oh my gosh. I like Derek Queen. I think he's a good scorer. He's covered that line both times head-to-head. Maybe that matchup is a solid matchup against Rudy Gobert. He's more willing to step out, shoot the mid-range a little bit. I wouldn't be mad if you guys decided to take that Derek Queen line either. But we're picking the Trey Murphy over. Guaranteed tonight. I swear on my life. I'm also leaning towards the Anthony Edwards under. A couple reasons. Reason being, number 1, outside of this one stretch where he's covering 30 points a game, he only tends to do it 3 games in a row. And I don't like high lines anyways. Yes, can Anthony Edwards drop 55, 44, 38? Yeah, no issue. But it's also so dependent on his shots. 33 shots for the 55 night. 25 shots for the 44. 27 shots for 38. What was his 39? 27. In their last matchup, he only shot the ball 6 times. 6 shots. Yeah, he dropped 44 here and took 30, but it's just so contingent on whether Anthony Edwards is going to shoot the ball. Me personally, with this trend that we have going on right here, 11 for 23. It's not like his shooting is crazy inefficient either. He's kind of shooting right under that 50% line, which is fine. That's what you want. But I just like his under on this line. I don't see him really crossing 30. If he does, he's going to start the game off hot, hit a couple quick ones, get into the paint fairly easily. I mean, the Pelicans are a horrible pull-up defense, so look for him to get to his spots, but also blowout potential. I mean, the Pelicans suck. Pelicans are horrible. But they also don't have a massive roster right now. Let's see, lost 4, lost by 7, lost by 10. So maybe not blowout potential, but T-Wolves are a good team. T-Wolves are a good team. But we're definitely taking the Trey Murphy over, leaning towards that Anthony Edwards under. I'm also really leaning towards that Derek Queen over as well. Saddiq Bey is kind of hit or miss. I took his under last game because I just had a feeling he wasn't going to get the same shots up that he did. Oh, sorry, not this game. I was like, I took his under on the Charlotte game. That Charlotte game did me really well, actually. But he's too hit or miss for me. And when I say hit or miss, what I mean is between Murphy, Zion, Derek Queen, who is actually going to get the shots up? I don't know consistently enough. So, like, yes, he might cover this line well, but sometimes he just fades into obscurity, kind of like Zion. Also, random hot take. Jeremiah Fears. I'm leaning towards Jeremiah Fears under here, and here's one reason. Him and Coach were arguing. Jeremiah Fears has definitely been a more tempery guy recently, if that's even the word of choice. But points are down, usage down, minutes down. You know who doesn't play hardly ever? Jordan Poole. You know who I'd honestly be surprised if they played tonight? Jordan Poole. I don't know, I just have this weird feeling that Jeremiah Fears might see a little bit less minutes than 22 tonight. I like the under. Especially after that last game. I just don't like when players get heated with coaches. There's still people at the end of the day. They're still more than willing to make emotional decisions. It would not surprise me if he got benched a little bit tonight. So we're taking that Murphy over. Next big pick, Sacramento Clippers. This is a crazy line to me. I don't care how slow the Clippers play. We're taking the DeMar DeRozan over every time. At 16.5 is insane. Reason being, pace. Clippers play extremely slow basketball. In fairness, they play extremely slow basketball because James Harden's also been their point guard, and James Harden plays extremely slow basketball. And everything needs to be set up, tons of pick and rolls. That's really where the pace comes into play. With DeMar DeRozan, extremely efficient scorer, extremely efficient in the mid-range. Shoot, he even took a 3 the other night. Took a couple. But absolutely look for him to cover this line. And here's what we're going to do. Field goal attempts. If DeMar DeRozan under 12, 13 shots a game, not there. But if DeMar DeRozan can literally just shoot the ball. I mean, look at this. 10 times, 75% hit rate. God forbid he shoots the ball 13 times. We're covering that line. I think this line's kind of crazy, personally. I don't know why it's so low. I get it's the Clippers and they play slow, but I don't care. It makes no sense to me whatsoever. Like, whatsoever. Even truly Zach LaVine's lines, like anyone. The only one I probably wouldn't take is Sabonis just because he's questionable, and you just never know. Never know Sabonis. But like, I like a lot of the Kings players in this matchup. Now, obviously, cause for a blowout would suck, but a tricky game. But 16.5 for DeMar DeRozan, in my brain screams 3. Also, Kawhi Leonard. I do not like his over on this. Only because, like I said earlier, I don't like high overs like that. 29.5, and that's actually Rose. It was 28.5, I swear, earlier. So you mean to tell me, like, yes, I know Kawhi. Former MVP, champion, all the things. 30 is just a large line to cover. 30 is a large line to cover, especially when you are the guy on that squad. And if the Kings wanted to, could probably scheme for you fairly well. And obviously, it's Kawhi, and Kawhi does Kawhi things, but it's just a high line. It's just a high line. You guys know I love that line. It was 21 to 24. I do not trust it at 29.5. Now, if Kawhi hits it, hell yeah. But that's just a tricky one for me. And the last big pick of the day. Oh, same damn game. The Clippers, they traded Zubac. So he's gone. They have no true center now outside of Lopez. Minutes were up once. 23 minutes last game, 20 minutes the game before. But what are we taking today? Yannick Kona. Niederhauser. I actually don't know how the fuck you say that name. But we're taking Yannick over for rebounds. I like that 5.5 line. Yes, under all these lines. But with Zubac out, plays the minutes. He's the backup center. But I think he's younger than Lopez. Brook Lopez is getting old, man. I just see him being in the rotation more. And I like the matchup against the Kings, especially if he's not going up against Sabonis the entire time. If Sabonis even plays tonight because he's questionable. So I like that matchup. I'm really liking his over for rebounds at 5.5. But those are the 3 picks today. So let's get a sweep. Let's get a gosh dang sweep tonight. It's been a while. Since really our first or second day, we haven't had a full sweep, but we've had some great picks, good percentages. Yesterday was just absolutely atrocious and murdered us, but that's okay. Life goes on. So let's see what else we got for today. As far as other feels, ba, 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 ba. Knicks as well. Knicks Detroit. A couple things I do like about this game. I know Duren, Harris, Robinson questionable. They're obviously all not going to sit out. There's just no way. I like that Duncan Robinson line at 11.5. I know for some people Duncan Robinson's forbidden, but I like that line. Been balling with the threes. I mean, yes, the hard part with Duncan Robinson, he's completely reliant on the 3-point, but I absolutely think that we can hit those. I like the matchup against the Knicks. Knicks aren't the best perimeter defensive team, so I think he can honestly get those shots up. I'm also liking the Cade over as well, just for the matchup purposes. Points and rebounds, points and assists and rebounds. Cade's kind of burned me a few times here and there, but I like that line, especially if Jalen Duren doesn't play. I do like that Cade Cunningham line. 25.5 is definitely up there, but when he's aggressive, he scores the ball extremely well, extremely efficiently. I do also like Thompson's over tonight. Just a little bit, but not for his points. On boards. I like his over for boards. I like that 5.5. I think the reason that the line's lower is just because of the matchup, the size, and the rebounding of the Knicks. But I do like this line a lot. Fairly dang consistent in head-to-head matchups. Last time against this team, whether it was Robinson or Cap, we still covered the line. Closing line 5.5 still. So I do like that rebound line right there for Thompson. And I like Jalen Brunson's over. Potentially no OG, no Josh Hart. Cat's doubtful. Might be the return of. You want the ball, get my rebound, Jalen Brunson. So I'd be totally fine. That's a high line now, 28.5, but I'd be extremely comfortable betting a 25 plus points on this game, no doubt. The only concern I have is that Detroit is a good defensive team, and with Jalen Brunson in particular, if OG doesn't play, if McCall doesn't play, if we're missing some of these perimeter scorers or just scorers in general, it might be a little easier to isolate Jalen and really not let him get those shots off in the way that we want. So that's the New York-Detroit game. A couple things we like, a couple things I don't like. Miami-Boston. Peyton Pritchard. Reggie Miller decided to compare Peyton Pritchard or Caitlin Clark to Peyton Pritchard. My man heard, and he said, "You right. I am phenomenal." Decided to ball out the last few games, 26-27, getting 20 shots up a game. I like those numbers. As far as field goal attempts, Peyton Pritchard, he shoots over 11. We're pretty much covering that line. He shoots under 11. We're probably not covering that line. So, definitely contingent on shots for me for Peyton Pritchard. But Jaylen Brown, also a little hard and tricky. Gets into the paint extremely well. Position-wise, this is the one thing. It's like, yeah, you have all these stats over here, all these filters, blah, blah, blah. Most of the times they don't truly correlate, though. And look, the Heat are a bottom team in the league in paint points allowed. Nice part is, though, it doesn't matter if you're Jaylen Brown. You could be the Pistons and be number 1 in defense, and it doesn't matter. I'm still dropping 32. You could be in the ranked 23rd and be the Hawks. I'm dropping 41 on your ass. You could be the Clippers, and I'm taking 50. So the hard part is, it's just contingent on, is he making the shots tonight? Is he getting to the free throw line a little bit? But you know he's going to get those shots up. But again, a 30-point line is a high line. So, do your own research on that one. But I still like the Peyton Pritchard line. I'm also a fan of a Derek White line, but just too inconsistent. Personally, I just feel like the Celtics are going to get offense off tonight. Make shots, hit shots. Bam's line, 18.5. I swear, this is what happens when I bet on Bam. I'll bet on Bam. This is what I get. I don't bet on Bam. This is what I get. It's a bunch of trash. Matchup against the Celtics. Again, doesn't really matter. When it comes to the scoring zone, comes to the defense, hit or miss on whether he's going to get those points anyways. But don't be surprised if Bam covers that line. Finishes about 20 points tonight. Also, one thing I do actually never mind. I do like Jaime Jaquez, and he's been covering that line pretty damn well. But I'm not going to talk about this. I'm going to stay away from this one for now. Indiana, Milwaukee. Ooh, baby. Kevin Porter Jr. I do like Kevin Porter Jr.'s over. Not for points, though, for rebounds. I like his over for rebounds, covers that line extremely well. I like the matchup against the Pacers. Pacers give up a ton of rebounds in general. Rebounds allowed, 27th. Defense, first position for rebounds is 30th. They really do just let you grab whatever the hell you want, especially on the defensive glass. So I like Kevin Porter's over on this one for rebounds. Miles Turner, every time I bet on Miles Turner, he gives me 5. He gives me 7. So I'm not betting on Miles Turner. He just doesn't seem to be consistent enough for me. But I'm telling you, I like that Kevin Porter Jr. over rebounds. Yeah, we're taking it. I also like Pascal. I love Pascal. Pascal's one of my go-tos. Pascal does me extremely well. Even though the hit rate seems to be a little low at 50%, it's truly not, because he covers these lines quite often. 19.5, 22.5. Like a lot of missed it by 1. Under the line. But most of the time, like if we were to be able to filter these just by closing line, that percentage definitely goes up. Bum, 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 bum. And again, for Pascal, it does not matter with the defense. Still going to get his shots up. I think the thing with Pascal for me is probably more about field goals. But it's a little higher. It's like, oh, maybe not. So essentially, if he shoots 15 shots a game, we're basically guaranteed. If he doesn't, 0 for 6. So I guess that is the issue. Is Pascal going to get the shots up? 24.5 is a high line. I mean, he's covered it. Still gets the shots up. But to me, it seems like anytime he shoots under 15, we're cutting it close. We almost have to get like 18, 20 shots up for Pascal. But I do like that Pascal over line. I also like the Nembhard line. Poor game against the Rockets. I'm pretty sure he scored all 7 of those in the first quarter. Like, literally in the first quarter, I was like, oh my god, Nembhard's going to go off again. And then he just stopped shooting the ball. Took like all of his 5 shots in the first quarter. I don't see that happening. He seems to be a player with like a typical pattern, kind of in that range, have a poor game, doesn't shoot the ball much, then boom, poor game, boom, cover that line. So I would not be surprised if Nembhard covered that line tonight, especially against the gosh dang Bucks. So I'm liking both. No Benedict Mathurin either. Obi Toppin vanished, so that doesn't matter. But no Benedict Mathurin tonight. So I'm liking that Nembhard line a little more than I am the Siakam line, if I'm being completely honest. Pelicans, Minnesota, we kind of already covered this game. And Sacramento and Clippers, we kind of already covered most of this game. So I'm also a big proponent when a team gets a new guy, especially at the trade deadline, of them trying to integrate them. Did he play in this game? Was he on the Kings at this point? I don't think so. God, why is that thing not popping up? I guess he still was, but the only thing I do like is anytime a team trades for somebody, whether they're an efficient scorer, it depends on the position, but they usually try to integrate them, get them good looks, until chemistry starts to blend a little more and things become more cohesive. So I still like that DeMar DeRozan line, but if you were to take DeAndre Hunters, I wouldn't be mad at you for that, just for the simple fact of I think the Kings are going to try and get him in that rotation a little bit more. But that is pretty much it for today's picks. I'm not a huge fan of the Memphis-Portland game tonight. I'm just not feeling it. Something about it. I don't like the Grizzlies that they have 7 players. I know it could be potentially a little gold mine as far as the lines go, but we're not going to touch them today. We're just going to let this game kind of do its thing. But that's it today, guys. Let's have a great bounce-back game. Always remember to do your own research at the end of the day. I do my own research. I look at stats, watch the clips, watch the game. Occasionally I watch some other people, see what some of their thoughts are on these games, on these matchups, on these reads. So make sure to do your own research every single time. But let's go get that money, baby. Have a great day. Enjoy the weekend. Peace.